Arch Linux is an operating system that I started messing around with a few months ago after 2 days of pain installing it, but now I need something better. Windows. Just triggered a bunch of Linux users. No, I'm serious. I have a dependency on Adobe, of all companies. I can't seem to find better software for editing videos. Trust me, I've tried. And Adobe apps don't exist on Linux. So if I want to use Arch Linux, I have to get Adobe Premiere Pro working inside of it. Right? Wrong. Hey! A supposedly easier way is to install Windows within Arch Linux directly into something called a virtual machine. It's essentially a virtual computer within your computer that borrows some of its resources. And I've heard you can get close to native performance like this. So then I could install Adobe apps within that machine and edit videos whenever I want without having to shut down my PC every time I want to switch to Windows. How certain am I that this is going to work? Probably out of 10. How to create a virtual machine in Arch Linux. Oh, there's VirtualBox on Linux. It's a software that lets you create virtual machines. But I want to use something else. I think it's called QEMU. Yes. How to install KVM on Arch Linux. What's a KVM? Kernel-based virtual machines are an open source virtualization technology that turns Linux into a hypervisor. Interesting. How to install KVM on Arch. Let's do this. Oh, this person has an old wallpaper that I used to use. Interesting. First of all, what's the difference between KVM and normal virtual machine? Cost is the key difference between KVM and VMware virtualization solutions. Oh, so it's the Linux way, I guess. Ooh, so there's more performance if I go with the KVM. Virt Manager is a perfectly fine GUI for KVM. GUI stands for graphical user interface, which means I will not have to configure things through the terminal. Okay, let's try doing a KVM with Virt Manager. First step is installing all packages needed to run KVM. Let's just yoink all of these. Open up the terminal. Boink. Arch Linux keyring. Boink. And the final one is this one. Boink. That was pretty fast. Also install EB tables and IP tables packages. Sure. Doing everything completely blind. Install libguestfs on Arch/Manjaro. Libguestfs is a set of tools used to access and modify virtual machine disk images. Okay. Ooh, this one's installing a lot of stuff. Possibly missing firmware module, a bunch of them. Good to know. Start and enable libvirt service to start at boot. You know what? Let's just finish watching the video. Okay, let's do the next command, which will launch this service as soon as my PC starts, probably. Boink. Oh, and this command starts it now, so I don't have to restart my PC. Also, probably. Status show it's running. So we need to check if it's running. Active, running. Beautiful. So far, it's going better than I expected. Okay. Since we want to use our standard Linux user account to manage KVM, let's configure KVM to allow this. Open the file etc libvirt conf. Of course, there's a config file. Let's copy this and do vim. Paste this in. Boom. Master libvirt daemon configuration file. It's a daemon. Sudo pacman-s vim. Okay, so this is definitely advanced since it's telling me to open this with vim. Set the Unix domain socket group ownership to libvirt. No idea what any of these words mean. Unix sock group equals libvirt. Do we have this command already? It's commented out. So if I delete the comment and write this file, we should be good. Set the Unix socket permissions for the r/w socket. Let's find it again. Unix_sock rw. Cool. Let's uncomment this as well. Add your user account to libvirt group. Sudo usermod-a-g libvirt something. New grp libvirt. What is that? Okay, so where is my username in this entire shebang? Is this supposed to be my username? Probably, definitely not. Oh, the $sign who am I puts in my username because it's asking who the hell am I. Very smart. Let's write the file and read only option is set. Write quit. Exclamation mark, right, quit. Command not found. How is WQ not found? Wait, I'm stuck inside of Vim somehow. Common issue for a lot of people. You can use :write exclamation mark to force write, or issue set no read only and then just do normal :W. :W and exclamation mark, it should work, but it doesn't work. Can't open file or writing. Okay, let's do set no read only. Maybe that worked. WQ. A permission problem. You can't write, but you have sudo writes. :w sudo t %. This will write the buffer to t. No idea what that means. Let's just paste this in. Boink. My password. Warning. File has been changed and the buffer was changed in Vim as well. Okay. Load file, and options. Let's do okay. :x to quit. Still read only. No. Yes. Well, I can't exit out of Vim after changing these commands, so that's great news. What if I open another terminal and then go into the place one more time as a sudo user? See, before I didn't do it as sudo. Ooh, and now this is already uncommented. So everything is good with this file. I just don't know how to quit out of this. Cool. :q. This worked here. What if I do Control D? Oh, and if I open a new terminal, oh, we're back to normal. Okay, next I need to paste this in to add myself to be able to configure the virtual machine. Boom, wrong password. Restart libvirt daemon. So this will restart the service that I added to start when my PC starts. Step 5, enable nested virtualization. Optional. Oh, nested virtualization means that if I want to install another virtual machine inside my virtual machine, then I need to enable this. I totally don't need this. But now I've already enabled something. So do I disable something? Let's move to step 6. You have successfully installed KVM, QEMU, and Virtual Manager on Arch Linux and Manjaro. You're now good to go. Whew, I'm good to go. Okay, now it seems like I only need to restart my PC. Reboot. Boink. That was a fake boink because if I reboot, my recording ends. Whoa, scripted. Boom. We're back. So now I should have a virtual machine manager installed. Virtual machine manager. Oh, yes, I do. QEMU/KVM connecting. Where is it connecting? Oh, basic details. libvirt URI, auto connect, CPU usage, memory usage. When I installed Arch Linux, I should have probably left a little more space because 82 gigabytes for Windows. It's kind of a little dry. So I hope I can fix that later. Okay, it looks like it connected. What's this button do? Create a new virtual machine. Yes. Choose how you would like to install the operating system. Local install media, network install, import existing disk image. Okay. Architecture options. Ooh, I can do ARM and a bunch of different stuff. So import existing disk image. Now I need to download a Windows disk image. How do I... Okay, Windows ISO. It's essentially a file that Microsoft provides with which you can install Windows. Oh, there it is. Download Windows 11 disk image ISO. Multi-edition. Okay, let's do this one. This is 5 gigabytes, so it's definitely going to take some time. Half an hour, 50 minutes. Oh, please. Not sure how much time has passed, but there's still 30 minutes left. Ooh, someone showed me before that I can drag this to increase or decrease the volume. Or do I do it with the scroll wheel? Oh, beautiful. Ooh, it's been 84 years. Here I have the file. So let's go forward. Provide the existing storage path. Okay, that's not what I expected. Browse local. Downloads. Windows ISO. Forward. You must select an OS. Can't find the operating system you're looking for? Try selecting a similar distro or version. Oh, Windows 11. Forward. Choose memory and CPU setting. Up to 31,000 MB are available on the host. Let's do 16 gigabytes of RAM, I think. So let's times this number by 2. Do I have a calculator? Yes, I do. Oh, stuff is everywhere. Oh, it's even more everywhere now. This calculator doesn't need to be this big. I want it to be a nice round number. And CPU cores, let's give the virtual machine 8. It's going to be pretty powerful. Forward. Name Windows 11. Let's go with Windows. Network selection. There's definitely going to be some IP leaking here. Oh, maybe not. Finish. Virtual network is not active. Yes. Oh, unable to complete install requested operation is not valid. Network default is not active. Okay. Could not start virtual network because unable to create bridge verb0. Package not installed. Well, let's do some Googling. Ooh, there's a graph. Hopelessly confused about KVM. What are these lines that my cursor is drawing? Set it to Mac VTAP. That's the newer way to do it without having to manually configure bridges. It seems like I'm going with this one. Device name. Oh, do I just come up with a random name? Noodles. Unable to get index for interface noodles. No such. What if I customize configuration before install? Would you like to start? Yes. Oh, something happened. Okay, so this is the configuration. Could not start virtual network. Great. Oh, where's my virtual machine now? New virtual machine. Local install media. Maybe I should have chosen local install media instead of import existing disk image. Wait. Oh, let's choose this one. Create a disk image for virtual machine. So I have 82 gigabytes available, which means I probably want like 40 gigabytes for this virtual machine. This is definitely not enough for Windows. So let's do 50. Oh, who knew? I should have watched the tutorial all the way to the end. So it should work with bridge device or this, wait. Yes. How did it open that window? Oh, customize configuration. Okay. And here there's begin installation. Can you believe it? Oh, unable to complete install. Never mind. It's almost midnight, so I think I'm rage quitting for today. And we've successfully traveled in time. Okay, we're back here. Virtual network is not active. QEMU virtual network. Oh, did you think you were looking at a frozen screen there? Well, turns out the next 25 minutes of this recording is just this one frozen frame, frozen in space. I didn't expect it either. Do I remember what I did here during these 25 minutes? No. What are these magenta parts, you ask, that take up almost half of the entire video recording? We're gonna have to get to that later. But let's say I'm not a huge fan of screen recording on network source, virtual default network. What if I do this? Apply. Error configuring VM configuration. Missing required attribute dev in element source. Now let's just go with the default one. Run the steps below if you ever get this message. Network default is not active. Failed to get network default. Those sound pretty similar. Check if you have the network defined by running this. Okay. Oh, I have it defined. Default, it's inactive, doesn't auto start, and it's persistent. So I think I need to make it auto start. Proceed to stage 2, start and auto start the network. Stage 2. To manually start the network, run this. Network default started. Okay. To have the network automatically start up in the future, run this. Network default marked as auto start. Okay. This sounds promising. So now if I go here and launch this. Oh, okay, good. Okay, let's go through and see if it lets us install Windows. And we're in. Now my PC is compatible. One thing that I will need is to turn off the internet connection for the Windows 11 installation, since I don't want to create a Microsoft account. Let's see how to do that inside of Virt Manager. Disable internet access on VM to install Windows 10. I can confirm that if you enter A as the email address and A as the password, you can skip the Microsoft account setup and create a local account. Really? Without needing to disconnect from the network. Surely that's a lie. Edit VM's settings, disable the network connection or remove the network adapter. Okay, I want to try with the A method. Wait, Windows 11 can't be installed on this device. Why? The system drive needs to be at least 52 gigabytes. Oh, great. Shut down. Can I change the storage now or do I have to do all of this again? What if I remove this? Probably a bad idea. Delete associated storage files. Delete. Ooh, okay. Now if I add hardware, storage. Yes, create a disk image for the virtual machine. Okay, 52 gigabytes. Okay, surely it can't be that easy. Surely. Oh, we're back here. Exit. Continue. Does it work? No. Maybe now the boot options changed somehow. Oh, I need to enable this. Probably. Apply. Oh, I think it's working. Professional installation. Wait, Windows 11 can't be installed on this device. System drive needs to be at least 52 gigabytes or larger. You have to be kidding me. Off. Yes. Surely this is more than 52. Oh, why am I here? Exit. Why does it not work now? It should work. I've done everything the same way. Let's try one more time. Oh, I probably need to press any key on my keyboard when it says press any key. Come on, Windows. Oh, yes. Now there's more than 52. Okay, installing Windows 11. Oh, let's go. Now, hopefully this virtual machine will be smooth. I hope it will let me run it at 120 Hertz at least. Now this will probably take 84 years. So I'll see you then. There we go. Ooh, I should have turned off my internet connection here. Or maybe I shouldn't have. Let's name your device. Computer. Add a few more O's just in case. Oh, skip for now. This is running at 60 Hertz or even lower. Definitely not a fan of that. Ooh, what is this? Ooh, so they've changed what it shows while it's installing Windows. That's interesting. Let's surf. Oh, well, my keyboard doesn't have arrow keys, so I can't... Oh, I can control it with my mouse. We're picking up speed. Oh shit, what is that? Why did the... There we go. I love that there's no other button apart from sign in. Great practice. Unless you know a workaround. But let's try the email workaround with the A letter. A, next, password A, sign in. Someone has entered an incorrect password for this account too many times. Never mind. So this doesn't work. What if I do Shift F10? Oh, there we go. And then here, I believe I need to do OOBE /bypass NRO. Oh, this should let me log in without a Microsoft account. View, details, snapshots, full screen, scale display. Ooh, oh, just became much bigger. It's still asking me to sign in. Virt Manager, disable internet connection to guest. Okay, let's follow this tutorial. So I guess I want to shut it down. Then go back here, right click here, details, already forgot. Virtual networks. There should probably be a single network default, which is the default NAT network. Yes, I have the default one. Click the plus button at the bottom to create a new network. Boing. Use a relevant name for for the network. Example, host only. Host only, or disable internet for machine. Change the mode to isolated. Mode, isolated. So now if I go here, click finish. Oh, network name, disable internet for machine cannot contain the space character. Finish. Beautiful. So I have two internet connections things. Let's see. I need to go into settings, NIC, and change this from NAT to this. Now if I go back, I shouldn't have internet connection. Oh, let's connect you to a network. Beautiful. I don't have internet. Enter your name. Next. Okay. Enter a password. Confirm password. I think we're in. Almost there. Ooh, and we're in. Isn't it supposed to be the default Windows wallpaper? The internet is blinking. Okay, let's give this machine the normal internet. Apply. And we should be connected, right? If I go into Google, make Microsoft experience more useful to you. No, doesn't seem like there's internet connection. Oh, what if I go into google.com? Can't reach this page. Okay, so it doesn't seem like this connected me to the internet. Do I need to restart the machine every time I do it? If the start menu has a bunch of random ads, then I am connected. Are there ads? Yes. Beautiful. First things first, how do I make this machine more better? As in, how do I increase my display resolution? And how do I increase the refresh rate of this monitor? Should it happen inside the virtual machine settings? Display spice. Okay. Do I need to install my GPU driver? Wait, maybe. Fast fetch. So this is my GPU. Copy. Oh my. What is this? Does anyone like when their browser looks like this? Just a bunch of crap everywhere. Surely everyone just disables this, right? Right? Okay, let's just download Firefox. Radeon RX 7700 XT drivers. Download Windows drivers. Okay. Unknown time left. Oh, wait, surely I don't need Linux drivers. That would make no sense. Whoop. Whoop. Software install cannot proceed as no AMD graphics hardware has been detected in your system. Ooh, okay, we can deal with that. Surely that's an easy fix. QEMU detect graphics card. Is it possible to use dedicated NVIDIA graphics card in QEMU system without GPU pass-through? No, it's impossible to use a host GPU directly inside a guest without passing it through, but I don't think I'm even passing it through. How to use GPU inside QEMU? That rhymes. Wait, I need to have two GPUs? Luckily, I have two. This is the integrated one. This is the dedicated one. So as far as I understand, I want to pass this for the virtual machine and leave this for my actual desktop, I think. Okay, it seems like I need to enable IOMMU or AMD VI inside of my computer BIOS. So I'm going to restart my PC and try to do that. Okay, I found it. It was called IOMMU and enabled it. Okay, next I need to open this file, the grub file, and change something inside of it. Sudo vim /etc/default/grub. And then I want to change this line. I want to add AMD IOMMU equals on. And then I think I need to pass my graphics card ID. LSPCI-NN. Boink. Oh, what is that? These are device IDs of everything that's connected to my computer. I have a lot of stuff connected. Okay, now I need to find my graphics card. Just a vomit of text. There's a bunch of AMD stuff here. Wait, I think I can move this output somehow into a text file. Well, I could just copy this, but that's not as fun. So let's do this command, and I think two arrows like this. Actually, I don't know what that means. What do these mean in the terminal? It redirects the std out of the program before this and appends it to the given file after. So if I say the command.txt, will it put everything from this command inside of this txt file? Okay, nothing exploded. The command.txt. If I open it, it has the output from this command. That makes me feel good. And let's search for... Oh, there it is. How did I not see it before? Okay, so I need to find the device ID. Did you hear the audio there? Just briefly interrupting to apologize for this, but it seems to be going on across a bunch of the recordings next. Not sure why it's sounding like that. It's not supposed to. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. VFIO.PCI.IDs equals, and then put both of them separated by a comma. So the first one is this one, and the audio device. Boink. Would have definitely been able to figure this out on my own. Next is this command to rebuild grub, whatever that means. Grub mkconfig-o/boot/grub.cfg. Boink. One more reboot required. Oh, I love that everything reopens once I restart KDE Plasma. Oh, now I'm going to need to disable my actual graphics card from loading so that Linux doesn't take it. And when I launch Windows, it can grab and use my GPU. So it means that now Linux will use my integrated graphics card, which is bad, but it will leave the good one for Windows. Okay, for this, I need to go into etc/modprobe.d vfio.conf. Interesting words. It says new here, so it created this file for me. It didn't exist before. Okay, I need to say all of this. Then inside of IDs, put my graphics card ID and the audio controller ID, presumably this one. Okay, I have an AMD GPU, so I don't need this line here. Write and quit out of this file. One more command. No idea what that's gonna do. Stuff is happening. And I need to restart once again. Boing. Next, I need this command, lspci-k. And then I need to find my GPU. There's so much text. There it is. Kernel driver in use, AMD GPU. Kernel modules, AMD GPU. I don't think that's what it's supposed to say. It should say kernel driver in use VFIO-PCI. Oh, I just said things were going smoothly. That was foreshadowing. So AMD GPU is using my GPU, which means my actual desktop is using my GPU. And what should be using my GPU is this thing. Cool. And the same thing should be for the audio device. But let's see if this works regardless. Virtual Machine Manager. And here when I open it, I want to go into the settings and do something. I want to make sure that the chipset I'm using is Q35 and that firmware is UEFI. Q35, UEFI. Beautiful. Next, I need to add my graphics card as a device into my virtual machine. So let's do add hardware, PCIe host device, right? So here I should find my graphics card, which is here. Let's finish. Okay, it's here. ROM bar. Interesting. Then I need another one for the audio device. Should be this one, probably. I think it's the one underneath. HDMI DisplayPort audio. Yes. It should be 3000 and 3001. And here it's 300, 3001. Beautiful. Oh, I didn't install a bunch of stuff within Windows as well. Okay, let's try just... So I just tried launching the Windows virtual machine and my screen completely went blank, as well as the recording stopped. So I just held the shutdown button on my PC and here we are again. Let's go see if the video survived. Doesn't sound like it. So I have to definitely make sure that Linux isn't using my actual graphics card and it's using the integrated one. Let's do lspci-k and see what it's using now. And it says the kernel driver in use is AMD GPU. Not good. So let's try to do this tutorial again. Maybe I misspelled something. Oh, there you go. It says grup instead of grub. Of course. Okay, so from this point, I did everything incorrectly. I want to see it. There it is, my grup file. You do not have permission to remove items from this folder. It's no longer there. Okay, let's do everything correctly this time and do this inside of grub.cfg. Next, I need to reboot. Okay. Okay, let's do everything that I did after that as well. Okay, now everything should be exactly the same as in this tutorial. lspci-k, and it shouldn't say AMD. And kernel driver in use, AMD. Oh, I guess let's try a different tutorial. Oh, this tutorial is for Ubuntu, but it also does IOMMU equals PT, which means pass-through. So maybe I also need to insert this into the grub file, IOMMU equals PT, and let's redo the entire procedure again. Please don't say AMD GPU. AMD GPU. Great. Oh, I need to activate both of these inside of my BIOS as well. NX mode and SVM mode. Let's quickly take a picture. Those are enabled. This tutorial also has rd.driver.pre-vfio-pci inside of the grub file. Let's put that in. Oh, and for AMD GPUs, I need to put this in as well. Video equals EFI-FB:off. Good to know. Video equals EFI-FB. Okay. Then remake the grub file again and do the rest of the procedure. Should stuff on my host computer become slow once it starts using the integrated GPU or no? Is that how I'll know that it worked? Kernel driver in use, AMD GPU. mkinit cpo.d .conf. Okay, I need to have modules equals VFIO PCI. I have modules set to empty. VFIO PCI /IO MMU type 1. Okay, then I need to make sure that inside of hooks there's modconf. It is inside. Okay. Let's reboot once again. Interesting, now it says this and nothing is happening. So maybe my GPU is disabled, or maybe not. How do I now get out of this? Not great. Okay, I went to Ethan Apple and this is still here, which tells me that it's not great news. So I think what I messed up was this init rams file, and it's a file that's loaded at an early stage of the boot process. And since it's messed up, I now see the black screen. But now how do I change this file back when I just see the black screen? Interesting. At least I can log into Windows. Didn't find anything. Ooh, what's down here? Press enter to boot the selected OS, E to edit the commands before booting, or C for a command line. What if I go into Arch Linux and press E? Oh, set params, Arch Linux. Load video, set something. Oh, wait, here's some things that I've set. Here's the driver thing, rdriver.pre equals this. There's the AMD IOMMU. What if I delete this rdriver thing? I think that's the last thing I added before. Let's try removing just that and see what happens. Press Control X or F10 to boot. Okay, so Control X. Oh. Shit. Okay, to get the footage back, I went into Linux Mint, the previous Linux distro that I tried. Then I installed Dolphin, the file manager, and here inside of Dolphin, I can go inside of my Arch Linux hard drive and hopefully extract all the footage. Please? Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, at least I didn't lose all the footage. Wait, I don't know how much time has passed, but I just realized that if I can see my Arch files from Linux Mint, I can also change those files back. That made my computer go black screen. Okay, let's open Dolphin. Beautiful. Now I go into my Arch Linux hard drive. Okay. And since I see all of the files here, I can just change them. Now, what file did I mess up? mkinit cpo.conf. Oh, open with text editor. Okay, and here inside of modules, I added all of this, and this made my PC go black screen, I think. So let's double check what I need to add here. VFIO _ PCI, IOMMU. Oh, but I also need to regenerate the mkinit cpo. So if I'm not inside of Arch Linux, how do I then regenerate it? If I save it now, why can't I save? Could not save. You do not have permissions necessary to save the file. Okay, how do I open this as a sudo user? What is this? Looks like a rectangle you would add in Microsoft Word. So how do I open this as sudo? So can I just copy this path and then cd into here? Oh, okay. Okay. Sudo vim mkinit cpo.conf. Boom. Vim command not found. Oh, sudo apt install vim. Oh, yes. Okay. Let's delete everything up until the last parentheses. Okay. And now can I write and quit? Yes. Beautiful. Now if I shut down my PC and try to launch Arch Linux again, it will probably work. Well, never mind. Okay, I found a tutorial probably showing how to get into Arch Linux from Linux Mint or chroot into Arch Linux. So I can essentially go into Arch Linux from this Linux distribution and then rebuild that file that I just changed. Oh, hello there again. Here I am on Windows. This is most of the footage I have for this video, almost 8 hours. And for almost half of it, the purple color, the audio sounds like this. Standard chroot can be used to investigate and possibly repair. What is that? If I disable the second track, or actually delete it, it sounds like this. A standard chroot can be used to investigate and possibly repair. What? So essentially what happened during this part is I figured out how to get into Arch Linux from Linux Mint. I created a rescue folder and mounted a bunch of stuff there, then used the arch chroot command to get into Arch from within my other Linux distribution. Pretty impressive, I thought. So I reverted back the file that I changed before, and when I restarted my PC, I saw this. Notice anything? Oh, Arch Linux isn't even here anymore. What the hell? Yep, there was no more Arch Linux on this menu. So then after a couple more hours, I figured out that there are actually 2 grub menus on my PC. That's this menu I see after restarting my PC that lets me select which OS I want to start. So then I updated the grub file from within Linux Mint and finally got back into Arch. I've never been so happy by not making any progress from the start of the video. Oh, this took way too long to figure out. I don't think I'm doing the GPU pass-through virtual machine thing. Oh, of course I am doing it. Only to struggle for 2 more hours, add probably like 4 hours of stuff that I didn't bother recording, only to not get it working in the end. Here's me peacefully rage quitting. It's 2 a.m. I'm done. I'm just done. I cannot get this to work. It's either stuck on running early hook when I try to launch my PC, or when I try to launch the virtual machine with my dedicated graphics card added, it just doesn't work. My monitor goes black screen and there's nothing I can do. I expected this setup to take 20 minutes. I'm now here on day 4, being thankful that I still see my desktop. Cool. I thought I was not even going to upload this video, but then a couple weeks went by and I had a moment. Gentlemen, it's been around a week, during which I had some time to sit and think about this problem, really reflect on it. Well, today I just booted up Arch Linux and kernel driver in use, VFIO PCI, and that's on my dedicated graphics card. So what was the problem, you may ask? So you're probably aware that the way integrated graphics work is they're inside of the processor, and the processor is connected to the motherboard. And so to see something on the screen from the integrated graphics card, you have to connect the HDMI cable to your motherboard. So the entire time here, I, being the genius that I am, didn't have any cable coming from my monitor into my motherboard. I only had a cable connected to my external graphics card, which means that when I disabled the graphics card and there was no cable connected there, connecting my integrated graphics card to my monitor, I was seeing nothing. So everything was working perfectly fine the entire time. I just didn't see it because there was no cable connected. Yeah, I don't have much to say about that. The amount of things I did to try to troubleshoot this, I learned how to chroot into Arch Linux from Linux Mint, but I just didn't have the cable plugged in. This comment here got me thinking about it. The annoying workaround I have found is to remove the display port cable from my dedicated GPU before I switched on the PC, and then leave only the HDMI cable on my integrated GPU. I read this, then scrolled down, then scrolled back and thought, I don't have a cable going to my integrated GPU at all. Yep, that was that. So let's try to actually configure the virtual machine now. Ladies and Mental Gen, I'm happy to announce that we're back. A couple weeks later, because I didn't have a second HDMI cable, but I'm ready to make this happen. Here we go. Now I have my monitor plugged into the motherboard. Virtual Machine Manager. Oh, there it is. Windows. I completely forgot how this works, by the way. Wait, do I open... Yes, I open the machine first, then go into Info, and then somewhere here I have to say which graphics card it's going to use. Ooh, yes, this is my actual graphics card. So what happens now when I connect the second HDMI cable into my actual graphics card? You gotta get under the table. Remember to bend your head when you're coming from under the table. Just a friendly reminder. Okay, and let's launch. What's happening? Did it launch? Oh, it's here. Okay. Press any key. Wait, is it working? That's definitely 60 hertz. Wait, what kind of password did I set? Oh no. What password did I set for this? Why did I set a different password? It's been like a month. No. And why is this so low resolution? Oh, got him. The referenced account is currently logged out and may not be logged onto. Wait, that's not the password. Please don't make me reinstall Windows just because of this. Okay, what if I reset password? Oh, I answered these security questions like this. Okay, well, be right back. I'm in. I remember the password. Oh. Okay, so this is now still 60 hertz. Let's do a little refreshing. Okay, let's go to Device Manager and see if it sees the graphics card. Display adapters is Microsoft Basic Display Adapter. So no, it doesn't see the graphics card. I think I need to go into this drive and run the setup to install something. Install Windows. Wait, what is happening? Why am I installing Windows inside of Windows? Oh, the wallpaper came back. Do we have Solitaire? Of course we do. What if I just download the drivers for my GPU? Radeon RX 7800 XT. Drivers and support. Okay, let's see it. The installer is intended to be deployed only on an AMD system, exiting installation as the requirement is not satisfied. Okay, so it doesn't find my GPU. That's bad. Interesting, so it's reinstalling Windows 11 onto itself. Why? Was I not supposed to do this? Okay, I'm also downloading the Windows VirtIO drivers. I think I'm going to need to install these so that Windows sees my GPU. Not 100% sure though. While the Windows update was happening, my entire PC randomly restarted, not just inside of the virtual machine, but the actual Arch Linux as well. And every time that this happens, I get this error. Non-endpoint PCI devices cannot be assigned to guests, which is interesting because I don't get this error if I completely remove the HDMI cable from my dedicated graphics card and only leave the one in my motherboard. And then once I'm inside of Arch Linux, I can connect it again and then the virtual machine launches normally. Why would I need to unplug unplug and replug the HDMI. Doesn't make sense. Also, inside of here, I added the VirtIO Windows ISO that I downloaded. That's the driver. So hopefully this works the next time I launch Windows. Oh, my graphics card isn't even here anymore. So that's why Windows isn't launching, because my PC doesn't detect the graphics card, probably. Okay, new problem. This is the message that I see when I try to turn on my PC with both HDMI cables plugged in. It says bridge filtering via ARP something is no longer available by default. Update your scripts to load BR net filter if you need this. Okay, and then there's these two messages. Offset assume missing something, and then it just gets stuck like this forever. Unless I pull out the HDMI cable from my graphics card, then it launches into Arch Linux, but I can't open the virtual machine. What? Now I can open it. Oh, I can open it now even though I don't have the HDMI cable plugged into the dedicated graphics card. Even though here it has my dedicated GPU, my monitor isn't even connected to this graphics card. Just asked AI about this error, and it says to resolve this issue, you need to load the BR net filter module manually. Yoink. Let's see what that does. Okay, nothing. After running this command, you should see that the necessary sysctl parameters for bridge filtering become available. Show me. Okay. Maybe they do become available. No idea what I'm doing. Okay, before I reboot, let's check up on Windows. Okay, something very promising just happened. When I checked up on Windows, it just consumed my mouse, wasn't able to do anything, but then it restarted my PC once again, and now with both cables plugged in, it just booted up into Arch Linux. So maybe this works. Oh, non-endpoint PCI devices cannot be assigned to guests. So I'm guessing it didn't recognize my GPU one more time. If I do this, I won't be able to see it. What do you know? Reboot. Oh, this is with the HDMI plugged directly into my PC, not the graphics card. This time there was no bridge error, but these two other ones remain. So I still can't start my PC without having the HDMI cable removed from my graphics card. Nothing's working, so I decided to reinstall Windows. And we're in. The virtual machine drivers got inserted properly. Wallpaper. Next. Balloon. Next. Okay, here we go. This might make it so Windows understands that there's a dedicated GPU. Oh, that's it. Okay, can I change something like the resolution? No. And device manager, please. Ooh, only the Microsoft basic display adapter. Oh, I didn't do it here. I didn't add the dedicated graphics card so that Windows uses it. Let's do all of the updates first though. Okay, it's now time for the moment of truth. Let's shut it down. Then I go into info and add more hardware. Here we go. It either works or I rage quit. Okay, should it be black? There's life. Oh, look at how tiny it is. It wasn't as tiny before, which means I can change I can still change it, which is good. Okay, it still has the Microsoft basic drivers. I don't think it's seeing my graphics card. Wait, just kidding, just kidding. Windows Update just did something. Look, AMD Radeon RX 7800 XT. Oh, this is huge. It now knows that I have... Make this my main display? Ooh. And it's frozen. RIP. Will it unfreeze? But it's working. I mean, it's not working. Okay, it's just a black screen again. It's also 6 a.m. Great. So it gave me a glimpse of hope, and now it's back to how it was before. Okay.